I just dropped a 30-minute video exposing who stabbed and killed Drakeo the Ruler. I've been investigating this since like 2023. I gathered like a lot of information over the last 3 years or so. We got the police, labeling who their prime suspect is. We got, his homies telling people that he did it and claiming that he the one who stabbed and killed Drakeo the Ruler. We got the eyewitnesses present who says that he's the one who stabbed and killed Drakeo the Ruler. So, hey, listen, man, all right? Listen, don't blame me, bro. I'm a civilian, okay? Blame yourselves. Y'all the one that was chatty-patting and gossiping and gave me all the information, all right? Good luck.
Hello and welcome back, Pillow Talkers. We spill the tea that everyone tries to hide. No gossip is off limits, no truth is untold. Grab your pillow and watch the stories unfold. On December the 18th, 2021, Los Angeles rapper Drakeo the Ruler was performing at the Once Upon a Time in LA Music Festival at Exposition Park. It was a major event, packed lineup, big crowds, and some of hip-hop's biggest names scheduled to hit the stage. But behind the scene, things was already going wrong. Drakeo was backstage near the performance area when an altercation broke out. Reports say that a group of people rushed into the backstage roadway area where artists and crews were moving between sets. What started as a confrontation quickly escalated into chaos. Witnesses describe a sudden rush of people, security trying to separate fights, and confusion spreading through the backstage section of the venue. During that chaos, Drakeo the Ruler was stabbed in the neck. He was seriously wounded and collapsed backstage as people tried to get him help. Paramedics were called to the scene shortly after, and he was rushed to a nearby hospital in critical condition. The festival was immediately shut down. Major performers like Snoop Dogg and others canceled their sets once word spread about what happened. Despite emergency treatment, Drakeo the Ruler later died from his injuries on December the 19th, 2021. He was 28 years old. Authorities classified the case as a homicide investigation. To this day, the exact motive and full sequence of who initiated the attack has remained heavily investigated and debated. Some reports and family statements suggest a large group may have been involved in the confrontation, but official details about the full scope of the attackers was not fully confirmed at the time. Drakeo's death sent shockwaves through the music industry. Many artists publicly expressed their grief and frustration, not just about losing him, but how easily the situation escalated in a backstage environment that was supposed to be secure. What happened that night became one of the most talked about tragedies in modern hip-hop, raising questions about festival security, backstage assets, and artist security. Now, as you just heard, Poetic Flacco says that he has been on the case for 3 years, and he has finally solved the case of who killed Drakeo. Now, I won't be going into major detail about who killed Drakeo. For that, you can go to Poetic Flacco's page because I don't want to get deep down into gang culture. But y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get straight into it.
The murder of rapper Drakeo the Ruler has been unsolved until today. Because in this video, I'm revealing the name of the person who killed Drakeo the Ruler, I'm revealing the face of the person who killed Drakeo the Ruler, and I'm breaking down in grave details how they were able to kill Drakeo the Ruler at a packed out festival.
Chaos at a packed concert featuring rap legends like Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube. A person was stabbed and police have shut down the show.
Well, a man is reported dead after being stabbed at a concert in Exposition Park last night. TMZ is reporting the victim was rapper Drakeo the Ruler. It happened around 8:30 last night during the Once Upon a Time in LA Music Festival being held at the Bank of California Stadium.
A couple of days ago, I made a post where I announced I'm about to expose and reveal who killed a really famous LA rapper. A lot of famous LA rappers have died. I never said the name of who I was about to expose. But when that post went up, almost immediately, hit dogs began hollering. One of the hit dogs who's been hollering the loudest, trying to get me not to drop this video, is Inglewood Family Blood Munchie B, who Drakeo the Ruler famously dissed in his Inglewood diss when he says, "I just dropped 50 on a blind ninja, he ain't see it coming." He was talking about Munchie B. Munchie B thought that targeting me and my parents for something one of my relatives did would sway me from dropping this video. It didn't. Munchie would even make a threat that he wasn't done with me and he was gonna be at me every day if I dropped this video.
Frederick, your real name, you know what I'm saying? But whatever, Frederick, Jala. I'm gonna tell you why your name, last name, on Inglewood Family. Any female need to run from the Jala last name. It ain't straight. On any resume, it ain't straight. I swear to God, bro. Flacco, I'm not done right here, bro. I'm on your bumper because you're a horny fraud, bro.
Now, not only did he say it wrong, but if you know, this is highly disrespectful given the context. Mocking a game could lead to serious consequences. I don't think it's really smart to go against a whole organization. And I get that him and academics say that a lot of rappers and, Flacco says that game bangers aren't about that life. But why are there a long list of gang members who have been taken down for saying disrespectful and doing disrespectful things to other gangs? But even academics knows how to choose his battles. He'll talk about Little Baby, but it's certain people he be like, no, I know they don't play. And let's be real, a lot of these rappers be associating themselves with gangs so that they can get street cred and go up in the hip hop world. But some actually do gang bang and rap on the side, and those are the ones that you don't want to go after. And while I do think that Flacco released this information to the cops, I will hope so before actually making this video. Releasing somebody killer is a major deal, and especially with dealing with a gang, it doesn't involve just one person. Once that person gets locked up, the whole gang is going to be mad, and you don't know who's coming at you left or right. You don't know who to trust after this. I'm just saying, I don't think anybody wants to live their life looking over their shoulders but gangbangers. They are okay, and that's their life, and that's the life that they chose. And let's be honest, a lot of them joined the gang when they was really, really young. So it started off as protection or maybe looking cool, and now they realize it's life. And they are living with the consequences. But putting a target on your own back is crazy. I think that it would have been more smart to pass it off to the cops and just leave it alone. And especially not revealing the killer and then taunting the whole gang.
On Bloods, why this nigga so mad? Come on, Blood, I don't understand, Blood. Why this nigga so mad? Swoo.
But of course Flacco pushed through and basically stated he don't give a F.
I'm confused, all right? If you have nothing to do with Drakeo the Ruler's death, if you or your homies and Inglewood families have nothing to do with Drakeo the Ruler's death, then why are you going so hard trying to get me not to drop this video? Once that didn't work, another Blood from Inglewood called Frosty the Snowman, who in my opinion was put up to this by Munchie B, called Adam 22 and began to threaten Adam 22 that if I drop this video exposing Drakeo the Ruler's killer, that they're gonna treat it as if No Jumper dropped it. This is just age-old LA tactics.
This kind of content it's gonna get treated like No Jumper's the ones dropping that content.
Definitely.
Which he's right. On one hand, I think Flacco's totally within his right to expose whatever the he wants to say about an ongoing investigation, because I mean, it's not any different than what happens in the real media world, where the New York Times, if they find out that there's an investigation going on into a alleged crime that Donald Trump committed, they are going to publish an article.
At first, I was like, a politician versus gangbangers? No, I don't think that can compare. But then as I thought about it, certain individuals have released information about government officials, and they have stated that the FBI contacted them and basically told them to stop with the information. So basically, their gang basically shut them down. It's the same thing with a gangbanger. They can, if they wanted to, they can shut you down. But then again, if you catch them before they get to you, you could get them shut down. So yeah, it's pros and cons to it. Because as much as Charleston White talks mess, he's still walking these streets with his chest held high, and he has targeted many gangsters and rappers. So that proves if you stay 2 steps ahead, you'll be okay.
We've been dealing with LA bullies our entire life. The reason why they contacted Adam when them coming at my family and me didn't do anything is because they think, well, Flacco is associated with No Jumper, so if Adam, can get scared, then maybe Adam will scare Flacco into not doing it. Or if Adam tells Flacco, hey man, if you drop it, your job is at risk, bro. Just, again, LA bully tactics that didn't work, right? Because Adam isn't terrified, isn't scared. Nobody is scared of gangbangers anymore, Blood. That's a fact, right? Gangbangers don't scare nobody. So of course, none of it works. But I'm confused as to why Munchie B is going this hard, because I'm in gang members' business. When Munchie B has kept me in gang members' business for as long as I know him. Somebody go ask Munchie B how me, a civilian from North Dakota, knows who shot and killed Rosemo in Inglewood. Go ask him. Just so the streets don't think I'm bluffing, I'm gonna give the streets a hint of safe, something right now that only the streets would know, that I know. That's the hint. Now, I would never reveal this information, but if Munchie B have kept me in the streets business for a long time, why is he all of a sudden mad that I'm doing street content? Is it because he's intimately involved with Drakeo the Ruler's death? See, I asked Munchie B this on the No Jumper show.
Again, from my perspective, if Munchie is saying he has nothing to do with that, then why Munchie be so
that he's willing to diss me and go out the way to cause this much trouble.
Hey, Flacco, hey. It's like, look.
He looking for a certain answer. I ain't gonna give it to him.
I feel like he's the only podcaster from Inglewood Family, so he feels like it's kind of on him.
So the families have something to do with that.
I don't know what you talk. What are we talking about, bro?
Okay, let's be real.
Ask my question again.
When it comes to Bloods, Munchie is obviously kind of it has always been at the forefront of the Draco versus the Bloods beef. So I feel like it's not really that surprising that Munchie ends up speaking on behalf of the other side of that, right?
I think like
Munchie B has said he has nothing to do with that. The Bloods had nothing to do with that. Family had nothing to do with that. So again, if Munchie B and Inglewood families had nothing to do with that, then why is Munchie B so passionate about this and it's causing this much trouble and dissing me over a potential video that don't even exist yet?
What was I trying to do, Munchie? Well, if Munchie B don't want to give the world an answer as to why he's so upset I'm doing this video, then I'll give the world the answer. The reason why Munchie B is so upset is because the person who killed Drakeo the Ruler, the person who took the knife and actually stabbed Drakeo the Ruler, well, that person is really close to Munchie B. But of course, I'm not saying anything new because Munchie B slipped up and said on Clubhouse that he passed the bottle to Drakeo the Ruler's killer almost every day.
No, man, Draco's dead, bro. What are we talking about? Don't make me disrespectful. Hold on. Hey, bro, look. Hold on. You know Draco seems to be on the table and ain't there no more, right? Hold on. You know Draco seems on the table and ain't there no more, right? Hold on. You do know I said Draco and his brother worked on Friday. You know they're Tuesday, right? Take your dumb ass up, bro. Hey, bro. Draco is dead, bro. Hey, bro, the nigga that killed Draco, I pass the bottle back and forth to him all the time. What are we talking about? Bro, Draco is dead, bro. Draco is dead, bro. Why are you talking about that nigga?
Hey, bro, you heard what I just said, right?
Draco put 50 on a blind nigga and he's dead. Why are you talking about him?
Now, I'm not going to lie. One thing that I find in common with these game bangers is they feel the need to get online and flaunt what they did and say it. It's like almost like a badge or an honor for them to display that they in the mix. And it's stupid because this information is what usually sends people to jail. And this is exactly why Flacco ended up figuring out who killed Drakeo the Ruler. And this is exactly why civilians feel the need that every time when a case comes up that they feel like they can solve the case. Because if a civilian can solve it, why aren't these cops who are trained to use clues, why they can't figure it out?
Drakeo the Ruler ain't never did as long live the ruler forever. But I'm glad you said that because it's time to expose which one of Munchie B's friends who killed Drakeo the Ruler that he passes the bottle to every day. And I'm also glad, Munchie, that you contacted the Crips to apologize for saying too much because your homie is responsible for other people's deaths. I'm glad you called and apologized and confirmed that your homie is the killer of Drakeo the Ruler. I'm glad you did that, Munchie. I'm glad you were dumb enough to confess that your homie is the one who killed Drakeo the Ruler. Now, unfortunately for you, I got his identity, his name, and let's expose that right now. When Drakeo the Ruler was initially invited to the festival that he lost his life at, he was skeptical, he was reluctant to go. Because when you look at the flyer for the festival, YG was also set to perform. And obviously Drakeo and the world was well aware that while YG was discussing Drakeo the Ruler on No Jumper, YG told Adam 22 that he's not doing no rap beef with Drakeo, right? Him and his dudes beef for real. And if it's beef, which it was with YG and Drakeo, him and his dudes is gonna come and get you. Drakeo understood that was a threat towards him, and that YG was publicly stating that they're gonna come and get Drakeo.
Like, people be knowing, like, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. I'm not finna be going out there doing no rap diss and shit. It's like, if it's smoke, it's really smoke with us. We ain't playing, you know? So, like, I'm gonna tell the homies the same shit, bro. I done told you through that, like, we ain't doing none of that weird shit for nothing, for the rap. No, we not on none of that. We trying to make hits. We gonna move around, get rich, have fun. All that rap beef and all that shit. We not rap beefing, we really beefing. The homies gonna get you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we ain't even trying to do that. We chilling. We not on that. So, you know what I'm saying? That's what I tell the homies. That's what I tell the homies that my I be with, that I hang with, you know what I'm saying? Like D3 young, bro, that's not cool. Like, we ain't doing none of that.
Right. It's kind of like a shortcut to like getting you a couple million views.
As reluctant as he was, Drakeo still agreed to come to the festival and perform for several reasons. A, he was being paid $50,000 to come and perform. And then two, Snoop Dogg personally called Drakeo and asked him to come to the festival and perform.
It sickens me because in a lot of cases, they always state that a person had a bad feeling or they didn't want to go and somebody always talked them into going. Now, you know, some people might be like, okay, that's suspicious. Why did Snoop personally call him and convince him to come and then this happens? And then some would say, I couldn't imagine calling somebody telling them to come and this happens. Like, Snoop gotta be like deep in thought about this.
Drakeo had love for Snoop, so he couldn't turn that down. And Drakeo also got assurance from people he respected like Wack 100 who told him that they will be there as well. So if he come early enough, they'll be able to link up with him and he will have some reinforcement. However, Drakeo the Ruler came super late and came after Wack 100 and his crew already left.
We was actually waiting on Drakeo to make sure he got in and out right, but shit, we waited on him an hour and something. You know, I had 100 tickets. I had 4 artists performing. I had Game, I had Blueface, Coyote, and True Card. So I told nephew we was gonna wait up for him and make sure he got in and out of there right. But after holding Blue and holding game and the team, wow, they was with it. And like, bro, I didn't think he gonna show up, let's roll. I called his little brother and then was there early, about 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you know, they was good. By the time we got to the Sprinter and got to the freeway, we got the call, he was dead.
Draco needed every one of those numbers to save his life, because the plot to murder Draco was already in place by the time Draco got to the festival. Now, the reason why Draco was so late to the festival is because he had to make multiple stops before getting to the festival. So Draco and his security guard met up at his home in the hills. Draco and his security guard left his house in the hills and drove over to the Awful Lot of Call Center parking lot to link up with Ralphie, K7, Chief and Heavily, and others to then drive over to the festival. Before they started driving over to the festival, Draco had a conversation with everybody he was with. He told everybody, get rid of whatever you guys have on you. Get rid of any guns, anything illegal you guys have on you, get rid of it right now. Draco didn't want to get to the festival and have problems with the police or security. So he told his crew, whatever you guys have on you, get rid of it right now. Everybody who was with Draco got rid of everything illegal they had on them before they began to drive over to the festival. While Draco was driving over to the festival, he was getting live updates from members of his entourage, like Donut, who was already at the festival. Draco had a hunch something was wrong, so he had people at the festival setting parameter and just like testing the temperature and looking at who was already there. Draco felt a little more at ease as they got closer to the festival, because the people he had in place at the festival already was telling Draco, yo, we ran across YG and his homies and these bloods that we don't get along with, but they seen us, they know we are part of your entourage and we're part of your crew, and they didn't do nothing or say nothing to us. So it looks like everything is chill. At the time, they seen that as a positive sign. But looking back in hindsight, that was a negative sign.
And he's exactly right, because if you're not the target, why would I cause commotion and I'm not being able to get to the source? And let's be honest at this moment, a lot of gangbangers don't go past high school because they drop out of school because they want to gangbang. They want to focus on money. So a lot of them don't think a certain way. So they think past a certain age range, when a lot of people that went past high school, you know, we think a little bit more. And I'm not saying all, but most of them don't finish school. Y'all think that they really put in school in the forefront, when in reality, it takes time to gangbang and put in work? And also remember that a lot of them are in and out of juvie and jail.
But like I said, we was there checking in. We've been there all day. I personally was there all day. I can say, well, I check, you know, for the check-in team. So we there. They said, hey, go with the homie, now let's stay here, man. Make sure it's cool for them. Make sure it's enough for you. Niggas got, you know, it's comfortable. We run into everybody who we think we're gonna bump heads with. Ain't nothing happens. A couple of us. Nothing happens.
In hindsight, that was a bad sign. They seen you guys, they didn't get along with you guys, but nobody said nothing. That's because y'all weren't the target. They weren't gonna set it off with the entourage and now everybody gets kicked out and then they miss Draco when Draco come in. No, Draco the Ruler was the target from the very beginning. Draco was walking into a literal death trap. Everybody was colluding against Draco the Ruler. When Draco, his security guard, Ralphie, K7, Chief and Heavily, when they got to the festival, they went to the security entrance for the artist. When they got to the security entrance for the artist, the security guard said, what's up, blood? And they told Draco the Ruler they can't go through that entrance, even though Draco the Ruler was performing and he was an artist. And he's like, what? Wait, why can't I come through this entrance? Nah, blood, you gotta go to that other entrance. As they was driving to the other entrance, there was a van in front of them. They watched the van drive all the way through the security entrance and didn't get checked at all. But when Draco and his crew of people got there, their cars got checked. They got stripped. They got checked as if this was like the airport security, bro. They couldn't even bring a lighter in. But a van in front of them went right through.
Now, y'all see, this is the point when they should have turned around. But with Snoop wanting him there, the money, you know, they kept pushing through. And it ended up being a tragic night.
This is when Draco ignored a couple of signs that was supposed to trigger something within him. The van before you got right through without being checked. The security guard, who was a blood, told you can't go through the artist entrance. You had to go through this other entrance you had no idea of. Clearly something was up. After they was done getting checked, they got the green light to proceed further. And when they was driving up, they went past that van. And the van that didn't get checked, when they drove past it, they seen members from YG crew, 400 members, they were in that van. When they finally hopped out the vehicle, they began to walk past several members of 400 and YG crew with 400 shirts on. They also walked past several BPS members. One member right here, you see have a Cardinals jacket on. When Draco finally walked in, it was a literal united Blood Nation front against Draco. A private investigator says when he reviewed the footage of Draco at the festival getting into the altercation that took his life, he counted 113 Blood members who swarmed Draco. It was perfectly clear this wasn't something that happened on a whim. This was something that was carefully and strategically planned out. This was a murder that was planned out days in advance. Because when Draco walked in, people had on ski masks. A rapper named K7 who was fighting next to Draco identified the man who was able to sneak in the knives to give to the assassins. His name is Gloves. He was YG security guard for years, and he still is.
Chill. I'm speaking facts, bro. YG a real like all the bro. I don't give a bro. I'm so mad, bro. My mama, bro. YG did some hoe, bro. And if I see come, I'ma slap the shit out that. On all this puff talking like they hard, bro, but you fight big ass security. You got your security guards fight. Come on, bro. That's cool, bro. On my mama, bro. The big ass ball security guard snuck in knives, all type of weird shit.
This was strategically and methodically planned because as soon as Drakeo walked in at 8:30, and by 8:32, it already sparked off. They were already in place, already had their knives, waiting for Drakeo to walk in so they could murder Drakeo.
We got there at 8:30. It was cracking at 8:32, like type shit. Like,
wow.
Yeah, that's the type of shit. Yeah.
I think your mom said it was around 40 to 60 men in masks.
No, it was like 100 something.
Really?
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
What do you say to people saying it was a setup? Because they were saying he shouldn't have been on the same bill as some of those other people at all.
I mean, shit, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, you know, and like I wouldn't say, you know what I'm saying? That if you know, you know. Like, you know what I'm saying? We pulled up at 8:30, 8:32. It was cracking like this, shit like that.
So I'm guessing you saw it happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything happened in motion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right then and there. It wasn't no 70 people who's packing out Drakeo. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just happened right there.
Yeah.
I feel like it just happened like all in one motion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody ever got to Drakeo to just get Drakeo. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was all in one motion.
Yeah.
The footage of them getting swarmed from 100 Bloods, from Pyrus to Inglewood families to BPS, that's on YouTube. Now, if you look at the still shot from this video, you see Drakeo is behind his security. Drakeo is still swinging, but he's behind his security. Now, a lot of people mistakenly believe this is the footage of Drakeo getting stabbed. It's not. When they walked in, they walked past BPS members, Inglewood family members, a lot of Bloods, they weren't fazed. They began to walk, trying to get to their place, trying to get on stage, trying to perform. Drakeo homie, Chief and Heavily, who has a store in LA, he falls behind. And as he falls behind the group, they try to rob him for his chain. Some Blood members try to rob him for his chain. When they try to rob him, he was able to escape. And he runs over to Drakeo, Ralphie, and the crew and says, yo, they just try to rob me. Some Bloods try to rob me. Drakeo says, what? Drakeo security, Coop, tells Drakeo, hey, yo, keep pushing. Bro, keep going. Drakeo said, F that, who did it? As Drakeo turned around to try to figure out who tried to rob his homies, they swarmed them. They absolutely swarmed them. Now, they was fighting for about a minute. Drakeo did not get stabbed in that video. Drakeo did not get stabbed in that video. They were fighting for about a minute. As they were fighting for about a minute, LAPD begins to walk down, so the crowd begins to disperse. However, there's people still there. Now, LAPD is shouting, the security guard is shouting at LAPD, yo, get them, get them. Multiple dudes then bum rush Drakeo and his security guard, Coop. Coop then was able to get one dude, but then the other dude was able to go around Coop and stab Drakeo in his neck and stabbed him. Coop is yelling at LAPD, get him! LAPD then flashed the light, and before they could flash the light, the dude took off. But who was that dude that stabbed Drakeo in his neck? Who that I'm not gonna show nor identify who the victim was? That footage is a friend stabbing another victim in the neck after an altercation at an after party spot. He murdered this victim the same way he murdered Drakeo. The victim held his hand out to shake him, refused to shake his hand, and then stalked him all across the building and then ultimately stabbed him. Now, the police believe that he did this to promote or assist the Black Peace Stones. He's currently out on bail as he's fighting this murder case. Now, when he found out that I was gonna do this video about him, that I was going to identify him as the man who stabbed and killed Drakeo the Ruler, he deleted his Instagram, his Facebook, he deleted all traces of himself from online. But it's too late for him to run and hide. The police have identified him because people who were present has identified him as the one who did it.
Since it's public record, we can now hear his name.
Not only is the police identifying him as a suspect in this, but the streets, him and his homies, have told people that he was the one who stabbed and killed Drakeo. The streets credit him, Frank Williams, as the one who stabbed and killed Drakeo the Ruler. People who were present behind the scenes have told anyone willing to listen that Frankenstone is who stabbed and killed Drakeo the Ruler. It's just a fact. Now the question here is, why would he stab and kill Drakeo the Ruler? What did he have to gain from it? Well, Frank Williams was really close friends with Red Bull, and he's really close friends with Munchie B. And as Munchie B stated, Drakeo the Ruler died because he got out of jail and began to diss Red Bull, who was right-hand man and really close with Frank Williams, aka Frankenstone.
What y'all was saying when he was on record disrespecting my homie, rest in peace. He can't talk back, but you disrespecting him. You know what I'm saying?
Long live Red Bull, man.
Long live Red Bull. So, you know, when he passed, I kicked him while he was down, literally. Hey, look, bro. Hey, people invite certain energy, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel bad for nobody over there except for his mama, bro. His mama lost his son because he wanted to entertain a little too much, man.
Munchie B said he kicked Drakeo while he was down, literally. Munchie B ain't do a goddamn thing to Drakeo. This is just Munchie B. This is what Munchie B does, okay? Munchie B is going out of his way to try to include himself as if he was the one who kicked Drakeo while he was down. Nobody kicked Drakeo while he was down. Cut it out, man. Drakeo didn't get stomped out, right? They stabbed Drakeo and ran and did a 40-yard dash. But this is Munchie B confirming that the reason why Drakeo got stabbed and killed is because he disrespected Red Bull, which is, by the way, Frankenstone's right-hand man and close friend, and which is why Munchie B and Frankenstone are still really close. According to Munchie B, he passes the bottle to Frankenstone on a daily basis. Now, to add more incriminating and self-snitching, right, after Drakeo passed away, a Black Peace Stone member, right, from the Baby Stone Gorillas, P4, he came out, right, and said they did what they did, and Drakeo and them did what they did, essentially claiming that the Black Peace Stones is who killed Drakeo. Frankenstone did it.
Thoughts on that, man? Like, Drakeo and everything.
Yeah, shit. You know, it is what it is. J-Side did what J-Side did, and you know, they did what they did, so.
Yeah. You try to stay out the politics, like, now more that your like music starting to go in like a better
direction.
direction.
I'm staying out the politics, but you know what I'm saying? They know what's up.
He even took to his Instagram story to further claim the body for BPS and celebrate the death of Drakeo the Ruler. This is him literally celebrating, got the smirk and the demon emoji. And when fans pointed this out, he said quite possibly the dumbest thing you could ever say. Instead of saying we didn't do nothing, P4 wrote, Bro, leave the set and Draco out the same sentence. Laughing. Y'all trying to have ninjas in jail. What happened at Once Upon a Time in LA, stay there. So you know what happened at Once Upon a Time in LA. Instead of saying, hey, we didn't do nothing, hey, man, he's saying, man, listen, man, y'all know what happened, but what happened there, stay there, man. Don't bring that police stuff online. Again, bro, Frankenstein, yo, if I'm you, bro, yo, I'm blaming your homies, man. Your homies is the reason why we all know you killed and stabbed and killed Draco. In Frank Williams, aka Frankenstein bill package, he gave up more identifying information about himself. Right? Now, when I read this bill package, all I could do is chuckle. Because you murdered Draco the Ruler, and then you murder somebody else, and then in your bill package, you're talking about yourself as if you're like Martin Luther King or something. This is from 2024. He would claim that he's the single father of a 21-year-old daughter. His employment, he says, is he's a recording artist manager for multiple recording artist/groups. I'll be interested to see who this man is managing, right? Because as far as we know, man, he's off the grid. Like, this dude has deleted his Instagram, his Facebook. He's gone off. He's going in hiding. So is he a recording manager for 400? I would hope YG isn't dumb enough to still have him down as a recording manager. Now, he would say he's a community activist. Bro, you are on camera murdering somebody in cold blood who organizes Thanksgiving and Christmas drives for the family. I'll cut it out, man. Now, he says he is a 40-year-old man facing his first violent criminal charge in 20 years. The detective currently investigating Frank Williams in his second homicide, his name is Detective Sergio Ortiz. His phone number will be somewhere on the screen. Do with that as you may. I don't know what you're gonna do with that as you may. Now, Frank Williams is cooked, right? The police is already honing in on him being the guy who stabbed and killed Draco. His friends is out here telling everybody who's willing to listen that he's the one who stabbed and killed Draco. The witnesses who were there is identifying him as the one who stabbed and killed Draco. He's done. He's over with. That's the man who stabbed and killed Draco. That's his name. Anybody else, they tell you it's a lie. That's his name. Frank Williams, aka Frankenstein.
What are y'all thoughts on Flago revealing who killed Drakeo? Do you think that he did a great service of revealing who the killer was? Or do you think he made a horrible mistake? Comment down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.